Hello and welcome, Flesh and Blood fans. This is Calebovitsch coming to you with another episode of VeteRandom Thoughts. Today I wanted to talk about basic game math and breakpoints in Flesh and Blood. That is, to put it shortly, why is 4 so much better than 3? Now, from what I've gathered about the card design in Flesh and Blood from the months I've been playing this game, there's a basic numeral balance therein. The most basic generic action attack you can think of, Wounding Blow, is a red pitch, 0 cost, 4 damage, 3 block. There you have it. If you increase its pitch value by 1 point, its attack goes down 1 point. If you increase its cost by 1 point, the attack goes up by 1 point. If you give the attack an additional ability, its defense value goes down 1 point. If you make it a class card, it can gain an ability as well and still be a red pitch, 0 cost, 4 damage, 3 block, but it is only accessible by some heroes. On the other hand, you have blocking values, those being usually the aforementioned 3 and 2. Instants cannot block, and defense reactions can usually block for more, but sometimes you need to pitch for because they cost more than 0. All of this means that on a usual 1-to-1 exchange, when you attack with 1 card for 4, and opponent blocks with 1 card for 3, you are still able to deal some damage and get the game going. Obviously, there's a ton of combo lines and attack amplifications that makes it even more effective for you to raise. I have 2 examples for you. The basic one is a meme deck dubbed Breakpoint Lexi, that you can see here, that I made for a Blitz Armory in early October last year. Yes, you can see a lot of cards that are banned right now, hence the time frame. Anyway, the point of the deck was to pack as many 0-cost reds as possible. The deck list only had 4 yellow cards, and to attack the opponent several times in a row for 4 damage. Yes, this was just before the outbreak of Cheerios, aka Redline Briar, which was just a superior deck, but this is just an example. The second example is more math-based, and is centered around the hero that recently achieved the Living Legend status. Bravo, star of the show. Bravo. The massive bearded dude has an insane damage racing potential. Just a 3-card hand of a red earth attack, any blue lightning card, and any blue ice card can turn into a 9 strength dominate attack with Go Again, followed by a 4 strength Winter's Wail with an on-hit Frostbite token. That is a total of 13 damage from just 3 cards, with the remaining one still being able to block for 2 or 3 more. No wonder he's so OP. I have touched upon the most important matter of breakpoints here. On-hit effects. Yes, sure, leaking damage and racing is very important, but if an attack has an effect, if it hits the opponent, you get to draw a card, or if it hits the opponent, give them a Frostbite token, or you get to charge your soul or put this card in your soul. This is where things get interesting. For example, a sneaky Briar player can launch a red snatch later in their combat chain, and even if they are sure this leaks 1 damage, they can Snapdragon Scalers for Go Again, turn that 1 damage plus draw into another 4 damage attack, and this gets crazy. If you have Channel Mount Heroic in play, 7 more? Oh my goodness, that's why Briar got eroded, one of the reasons. Anyway, another one of my favorite examples is the aforementioned Winter's Wail, Oldham's signature weapon. 1 Frostbite token might not seem like that much, but in crucial moments, that point of taxation might break your opponent's plans for their whole turn. So it becomes a lose-lose situation for them. They can block it with 2 cards, but then they are getting 2 for 1 and are at a turn cycle disadvantage. They can block with 1 card, take 1 damage, and a Frostbite. Sure, why not? Or, turns out they need that last 1 card in hand because it gives them the resources to fund their whole turn, so they take the 4 damage. Great! Victories are built on smashing your opponent's face after all. All of this also highlights the importance of using your equipment for its defensive purposes. In a purely racing situation, it is easy. Just keep your life total slightly lower than your opponent's to turn off their Arcanite Skullcap, Scar for a Scar, and sometimes even Heart of Fiendal. But in a matchup with a ton of on-hit effects like Snatches, Oakenolds, Icy Arrows, I mean, not in the same match, of course, keeping your equipment to stop breakpoints and negative effects is crucial. You need to identify what your opponent's plan for the game is, and use those 2-into-1 Battle Ward and Temper pieces to protect yourself accordingly. Now there is one example I wanted to point out that is actually the opposite of a breakpoint, but more of an endgame soft lock. Let's say two Oldens meet in an untimed top 8 match. They have exhausted all of their big attacks and are only left with their hammers to swing for 4 each turn. What Granddaddy of Time in the round can do in those spots is use Crown of Seeds to protect for 1, use Rampart of the Ram's Head to block for an additional 1, and use his Earth Defense reaction to protect for 2 more, fully negating the attack. Boring, but effective, with no cards being lost in the process. Rinse, repeat, a stall, a draw, no winner. Anyway, this is going to be it for the Breakpoint episode of VeteRandom Thoughts. As usual, remember to have fun in exploring all the intricacies of Flesh and Blood. I know I still am. See you at the tables.